Welcome back. We are moving into the second phase of the setup. So by now you should have gone through the video for the business profile settings. We're going to move into setting up team members and staff members within the account now. So we are here in the demo account. We have moved into the settings tab, and now we're working on this tab here. We're going to move to my staff. Go ahead and click my staff. We're going to get in here, and you're going to see there's no users currently on this particular demo account. So this is going to be very similar to what yours looks like when you first get this thing set up. And you're going to likely want to add a couple different users. So think different team members that are going to be using the account, be able to log in and things like that, have their own credentials. To do this, we're simply going to go over here to add user. And then we're going to start adding the information in. So John Smith, put email or John at notreal.com, phone number, and be able to put all of that information in. If there is a calendar we'd like to connect, you can certainly add that in here. For now, when you're signing people up, you can start by just leaving it blank, and you can always add it in later on. If you want to go in as the employer or individual that is setting this up for the account and enable signatures and set those up for team members, you certainly can do so. Otherwise, you can have them set this up on their own once they've logged in and are able to set up their own personal profile. Each of your team members will have something similar to this where it says business profile, but they'll have one that says my profile where they can update all of this. But if you want signatures set up for the email sending, things like that for each individual team member, you simply click this to turn on, and then you can add in their email signature from there. From there, you'll hit next. I don't think it will let me here unless I change this here. It's not going to let me put something in, and that's okay. Well, let's actually leave it blank for now. And we'll hit next. It's going to move us from this user info to now roles and permissions. So this is where we set up what does this team member have access to within the account overall. So the first thing that we'll set up is the user role. And you have the choice of either a user or an admin. An admin's going to have a lot more permissions and things that they can do within the account. A user is simply going to be a user. Users cannot delete the account. They can't change billing permissions. They can't do things like that. So it's important to kind of know who are we adding. Most of the time, you're likely going to add a user unless it's someone that you really want to be able to have that admin access. From there, it's going to default to a number of different things that they will have access to, but you'll be able to walk through and determine which of these do you want this particular user to have access to, and you can toggle these on or off at any point. You can come back and make changes after you've set up the individual. So you can turn on or off AI agents. Do you want them to be able to change some account settings like viewing and managing tags or different settings, account tools from managing content AI or different things like that? Do you want to have access to the automation tabs or blogs? And there's, again, a number of different things in here that you can turn on or off. Really encourage you to take a look at each of these for the individual you're setting up and make the determination of what makes the most sense for them to have access to specifically at the beginning. And you can always add or take permissions away later on. We'll go through, we'll make sure that these are all set up correctly. I'm going to leave them all default on for this example, and we will just simply hit save. Then we'll scroll down here. So this is just jumping to each of these areas that we just looked at. There are a few other settings we can set up. So call and voicemail settings. This is going to allow us to set this up. Once we have phone numbers set up in the account, which will be in a future video here, you can actually select a specific phone number per person. So if you decide to have 5 team members, and you want them each to have their own phone number, you can set that up in the account and then come back here and assign those phone numbers to the individual. Currently, there's nothing set up in this account, so there's nothing to select here. Forward calls to, you can have it go to a web app. You can go to the mobile app. There are a few information type things here for you to take a look at. You can have it just reroute to their individual phone number. So whatever phone number is set up in the user info, you can have the inbound calls that are being made to this number that's being set up actually directly go to the team member's personal phone number so that they can just use their phone to answer the calls. Default channel for ringing, web app, mobile app, my phone number, things like that. You can choose which one makes the most sense. Same thing for the IVR. And then you can set up voicemail messages. You can actually upload one, upload a recording for for that and I'll hit save. Again, some of this can be set up by the team member individually, or you can choose to do it here in the initial setup. Next is user availability. So this is determining when is this team member going to be available. So this can be the team members working Monday through Thursday. So we want to make sure that they have zero availability on Fridays and Saturdays, as an example. This is where you get to set some of this up. And it's taking a minute here to load. So maybe let's come back to this one. But we can set up the user availability. Calendar configuration, of course, as soon as I went there, it went back. Calendar configuration. This one is oftentimes easier to set up with the team member. So once they have their account, they can go back and actually go through their own settings to set up and connect their calendars. So this is things like they have their own Outlook account or Google account, Gmail account. And they're connecting those things directly to the platform so that there are calendars, their actual calendars connected. There we go. Let's get back to user availability here. So you can set up custom meeting locations, whether that's a Zoom link or a Google Meet link, something like that, or an in-office location if that's particular for your business. Again, being able to toggle on or off different days and what hours that they're going to be quote unquote on or available during those times. So it's going to set the default here, and then you just simply go in and click on or off any of these, and then change the dates and times accordingly. Calendars configurations, and then finally notification settings. So you can then set, do you want in-app notifications, meaning that they get notifications on the application on their phone? Do you want it to be email notifications or SMS messages or notifications to these team members for different things? You can set up conversation notifications, task notifications, Facebook, Google notifications, all sorts of things can be set up in here, and you can hit save for that particular user. Once it's all complete, you can hit save, go back, and your user will then be here. We didn't go through the entire process. We did not have a real user we were setting up, so there's nothing here. But once you hit that user, you hit save to it, they're going to get an automated email from the system to go in and update and create their account, set their password, and then be able to go in and set up their things as well. So this has been setting up your team members. You can add as many team members as you need, set up their user roles and all the different things from there. And then your team will have access to their account, be able to set up and move forward from there.